All right, should be good.
Okay, go.
Introduce yourself firstly.
Okay, so my name is Raul. Um, I live in United States. I'm in New York City. It's pretty busy in this area. A lot of trucks, a lot of cars. Um, so I've been doing the primal diet for about a year and 2 months. I'll say I started October 2017. And yeah, I've been doing it since then. It really has helped me a lot, and I would definitely be glad to share.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Just start from the beginning.
okay, so back in 2012, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and the way I got diagnosed was that I had a small stroke at the job. I was working as an accountant, and that was a pretty stressful job. So they took me. I had a small stroke and or a small seizure or whatever it was. And then they took me to the emergency room. They did some exams. They found something on the brain, and then the nurse came to my room like really slowly and quietly, asking everybody to get out the room. And I'm like, oh my god, I have AIDS! I cannot believe this. So then she said, oh hey, have you heard about multiple sclerosis? And I'm like, oh my god, it's not AIDS, okay. But then she was explaining, okay, multiple sclerosis, and I'm like, no, I never heard of that. So then, well, it was in 2013 that I got diagnosed, actually, like around February. And then they ran some other CAT scans, I think it was, and then they found lesions in the brain. And I didn't have the symptoms in 2013. I was good, but then I what I did was I started a vegan diet like from one day to the next. As soon as she told me that I had multiple sclerosis, because I was reading in a whole bunch of articles that to prevent the symptoms
Yeah, yeah.
is a vegan diet. So I'm like, okay, let me go full blast with this. And then I did a whole bunch of recipes. Uh, of course, eating a lot of grains because when you're a vegan, where else are you gonna get your energy from?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, most plant foods they don't contain fat, a lot of fat. It's rarely that they do, like nuts, but at the same time they contain a lot of anti-nutrients. But then I started eating a lot of nuts, a lot of rice, a lot of the vegan deal. Um, so and I was spending a whole bunch of money in the month as well. I was spending like maybe $800 in a month, so that was ridiculous because
Yeah.
and I wasn't even you weren't even full the whole day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like wasting money for nothing. Um, so I ended up doing the vegan until 2015, because the symptoms really started on 2015 at the end of the summer.
Mm.
Yeah, so the symptoms were it started really light. I was getting the vertigo when I was working out. And doing, I'm used to doing like calisthenics and stuff. And when I was doing muscle ups is like doing a pull up all the way over the
Yeah.
bar and going up there. So after doing like two muscle ups, I got the little vertigo, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And it started once a week, like one day, but just once in the week, and then slowly it kept increasing. Um, and all of a sudden, it came to like every single day, 5 times a day. So after the vegan, I did the raw vegan, thinking that was gonna help, because I was learning about the uh, cooking foods and stuff. When you cook anything, you denature it, it loses value.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do the raw, eating a lot of greens, eating a lot of fruits, a lot of starch. So that's a lot of. I think the raw vegan is worse than vegan itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're eating, and you definitely don't get full by doing the raw vegan, because you have to eat a lot of fruit in order to think that you are satisfied because the fruits they kind of fill you up for a little bit for like 2 hours, and then you got to keep eating again. So that's like a lot of glucose. I think that's what ended up messing me up even more than the vegan diet, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So that's definitely not even like that's like no fat at all.
Mm.
It's zero. So then I after that I was doing, let me see. Okay, after that what I did was, since I was getting the vertigo so much throughout the week, throughout the throughout the day actually. Throughout the week of course, but throughout the day I was getting like 5 times a day. I ended up I wanted to, you know, we are mentally let me see who has conditioned us. I'll say that the government or the medical profession has put us in a cage and said, okay, this is how you have to think, because the first thing that comes up in your head when there's something wrong with you, oh, I got to go to the hospital. But you know what is the problem. So the reason I went to the hospital again to a neurologist was to get another CAT scan.
Mm.
So they took the other, but again, I I was doing the vegan thing, but I was really I was not for medicine. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I never took any medicine because I never believed in that. Once I started the vegan diet, but then and I still kept that mentality, and I didn't want to take any medicine at all. So I never told the neurologist that I had MS or anything. I just wanted them to do the CAT scan just so I can confirm that is the MS. So then um, I did they did the CAT scan, and then the CAT scan um, confirmed it. The CAT scan compared to the one in 2013 to the one in 2015, and it said and I still have the papers. I said there's an increase in lesions from the previous CAT scan
Mm. Yeah.
stage 13, which is about 2 years ago. And I'm like, damn, that explains the vertigo, the increase in vertigo,
Mm.
increase in lesions, increase in vertigo. So I'm like, okay. So then after the raw vegan, what I started doing is I read this book by Dr. Walls. She was she's a physician as well, and she was messed up with the multiple sclerosis, and she was in a wheelchair. She was in a wheelchair. She couldn't walk. She was on a reclined wheelchair actually, because she couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And and then I'm like, damn, if this woman is like this, then I should be able to get better, because I mean, at least I could walk. Um, and then what she did was a paleo diet, like a ketogenic diet, very high in fat, whatever. But at the same time, the difference was that she was cooking her meat,
Right.
but she was cooking it very lightly. She was cooking it very lightly, which is what I think was the difference between me and between how I was following it and how she was doing it. Because she said on one part, like of the recipes, okay, so take the liver, put the liver in there, put it for 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm like, damn, 2 or 3 minutes? This is raw. So I'm like, okay, forget it. Let me just cook it. And I used to cook my stuff well done because that's how I grew up.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how
yeah.
everybody was telling us to do it. Because if you don't do it, you're gonna get sick. You're gonna whatever.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, I'm doing it well done. So that was the difference between her and how I was doing it. Um, so she ended up feeling better 9 months afterwards. So she was able to get up from her wheelchair 9 months afterwards. She was able to ride a bike 9 months afterwards. She was able to do everything. So I'm like, okay, so let me follow this. So I was following her um, regimen. She was
Right.
eating very little fruits, very little carbohydrates as well. Just like maybe half a cup of strawberries or something, like once a couple of times a week.
Mm.
So that was a good one that she was following because it was low carbohydrates. But then again, she was cooking it, but not as much. She wasn't denaturing the food as much as how we do it now, even if for like what 20 minutes cooking on the medium heat or whatever, that kills you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like people say, "Oh, what if I cook it on low heat?" Okay, take your hand, put your hand on the skillet on low heat, and see what's gonna happen. Is it gonna hurt? It's gonna hurt because it's gonna denature the food no matter what because there's heat being added. So then after that, after 4 months, after 4 months of following that diet, that didn't work for me. Probably didn't work for me because I was cooking the meat too much,
Yeah.
instead of following how she was doing it. After that, I kept on looking, kept on looking. I finally found this book. I don't know how I found this book, but I just went. It's another thing I'm gonna say is if you're trying to find information on a raw paleo diet, it's gonna be really, really hard for you to find it. And even if you find it, the person who wrote that specific article, or whatever, is gonna say, okay, but they give an example like, okay, the people in Alaska, they eat it raw, this and that, whatever. But then the person in the article says, but I suggest you to at least cook it a little bit, because they're already conditioned. We are already conditioned.
Mm,
That's how we're going to do it. That's how we have to do it. So then I found this book. This was a guy, his name is Jake MacArthur. He's from the United Kingdom. And he had crazy acne since when he was a kid, and the acne was like really, really bad. He didn't have any photos of him, but as he was explaining in the book, it was really bad. And he tried everything, and he also tried the diet where you cook it, just like I did on the book when I read it.
right.
Um, so then he started the raw diet as well, the raw paleo diet, and he saw a huge difference, and the acne finally the acne finally went away.
Mm,
And one thing he did was, he messed around and saw what was gonna affect him with the acne. So one time he took a piece of chocolate, he ate it, and he started scratching a little bit in his face, and he said, "Oh my God, this is coming out." So he eliminated the chocolate. Of
right.
course, he did very low carbs, very high in fat, even high meat, you know, uh, you name it, eating everything from the animal, eyes, testicles, you name it, the whole 9 yards. So he felt better pretty quickly. So after he was stating so much information in that book and giving so many examples of our hunter and gatherer lifestyle, I'm like, oh my God, why shouldn't I follow this? This is how we used to live. Uh, and they say nowadays they say, oh, but that was back in the day. That was millions of years ago. But at the same time, if that was millions of years ago, that means we should still be following it because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We wouldn't be here. So I mean, just might as well just start following what we were doing before. Then again, but again, when I started this regimen, I did from October. I'm trying to be as exact as possible because I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
keeping dates, and I started on October 17th, 2016, and then the first week I felt with a lot of energy. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Let's go. Let's do this. But then again, I got a stem cell treatment. A
Uh-huh.
stem cell treatment.
Yeah.
So this was no medicine injected in my body. I made sure that wasn't gonna happen. What they did was they extracted stem cells from my fat, separated, and then injected it back in me. So that then the stem cells could have so that they can reproduce. I believe that the stem cell treatment worked a good amount with this with my healing. But then again, it's not necessary for people to do that because there was a paleo, I think it was a raw paleo diet forum. I asked a question saying, oh, hey, what you think about this? I'm going to get a stem cell. I just put it on a thread. I'm going to take a stem cell treatment, this and that. And I think his nickname is Sabretooth.
Right, I know it.
Sabretooth. Yeah. He replied to one of my um one in the thread, and he said, "Okay, I mean, if you want to do it and you have the money to do it, go right ahead. But it's not necessary for you to do that. And this is how I know it's not necessary for me to do that. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. But then he was telling me, yeah, you could do it, but then it's not necessary because you're gonna have the good results if you start this raw paleo diet. So then I said, okay, forget it. Let me just do it just to make sure because I was so messed up. I'm like, I gotta try everything, especially if it's natural. If it's not natural, I wasn't gonna do it. Natural meaning that it was from my body. The extraction of the stem cell is not natural because who's gonna do that in the wild, for example? So, so then I did the stem cell. I did the stem cell on November 17th, 2016, a month apart exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then so November 17th, November, December, January. Okay. So by January, come January, I started getting the stem cell. The stem cell. I started getting the vertigo uh, 3 times a day instead of 5 a day, and I
Okay.
kept on writing it down. And even though I was getting it 3 times a day, I started working out, which I had like a year that I couldn't work out. I could not work out. So I'm like, oh wow, okay, let's keep on doing this. I was getting a little bit desperate that I wasn't seeing any difference with this diet because the first week I was feeling stronger, but then right after that week, all the symptoms came back. So then I'm like, okay, but still, I said, okay, I'm gonna keep on following this because there's no other thing that I can follow. So I said, forget it, let's do it. So then 2 weeks, yeah, in 2 weeks I was feeling the same way that I was feeling before, and let me see, 2 weeks, and then okay, so then 2 months down the road, come January, I was getting it only three times a day, and I was able to work out a little bit at least. Um, and then on February 17th, 3 months into the diet, vertigo was gone. So I was able to drive again because I wasn't able to drive because if
Yeah.
I had this,
Your sound is a bit off.
so
Okay, now it's
uh, yeah, now it's completely gone. No vertigo anymore.
now your sound was a bit off for five
Oh,
seconds.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. I said that uh, I was able to drive again come
Right.
February 17th because the vertigo was completely gone. I haven't gotten vertigo yet.
Yeah, man.
After
Amazing.
that, yeah, it's crazy. I was surprised. And then I told my mom's, and I'm like, "Oh, mom, I haven't gotten the vertigo today." And then she's like, "What?" She was she was so surprised as well. Probably probably more than me. So then she said, and she's like, she wants to start the raw diet because she's seen such a big change uh how I was before.
Hmm.
So I try to encourage her. The only thing that she could eat raw is the brain, which is kind of a little bit sweet to her, and
Hmm.
the liver and
Right.
the liver stuff, you know. What I was gonna say another thing, which was I forgot that one. I forgot. Yeah, but I totally recommend anybody with any type of diseases. It could be any type of disease. This is gonna reverse it. I totally. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that it wasn't necessary for me to do the stem cell treatment, and I only know this because of all the other patients that were there doing the stem cell as well with me, at the same
Yeah.
time. Because I called a couple of them and asking them, "How is your multiple sclerosis going along?" The same time that the vertigo stopped for me, and then they said, "Oh no, I'm still messed up. I still get this and that." Why? Because they are still following the same diet that they used to follow before. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So if you don't change your diet and you do the stem cell treatment, you're not going anywhere.
Mm,
Therefore, it means you don't need the stem cell treatment. You really just need to change your way of life. You know.
exactly.
So that concluded that no stem cell treatment is necessary for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the body heals itself. The body produces its own stem cells, giving it the right nutrients. So if especially the right nutrients, I mean by not denaturing the nutrients, like adding heat to it. You know, a lot of people might say, "Oh yeah, I eat a lot of meat, this and that," but then you add heat to it. And even if you add heat to it, a lot of people eat it with carbohydrates. A lot of carbohydrates like rice, pasta, plantains, you name it. And that's what gets you fat and clogged arteries and stuff, you know.
Yeah. So how long were you vegan exactly?
Okay, so from 2013 April, no, for 2013 May
Mm,
to to um 2016 around March, around there. That's when I started the Dr. Walls
oh wow.
protocol.
Pretty long
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. So it was how many years is that? May about 13, 14, 15. Okay, 13 May, right? Yeah, May 13, May 14, May 15, May. Wow, 3 years. I didn't know it was so long. So, because I did from the vegan, whoosh, to the raw vegan. So it's like 180-degree change. You know what I'm saying? So this was a wow, 3 years. I didn't know it was so long. But I really think it was the raw vegan that killed me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was following this girl. Um, what's her name?
FullyRawKristina.
Fully Raw Christina. There you go. Fully Raw Christina. Fully Raw Christina. And she was saying how she eats, um, how what she eats in the day. And she was breaking it down. She was saying, okay, in the morning I will have this piece of fruit, whatever, this and that. And at lunch I will have a some lettuce, some fruits or whatever. She always added fruits because, like I said, that's what fills you up a little bit or what confuses your mind and say, oh, you're a little bit full, so you don't need to eat. And then in the evening again, she would add something, some avocado, some dates, which is dangerous. I'm scared of sugar now. So then she I started following what she was doing, and I was eating a whole bunch of fruits. I was eating a whole bowl, bananas. I was putting pears in there. I was putting apples, strawberry, blueberries, raspberries. Mind you, blueberries, raspberries, all the berries are pretty expensive. So that's a lot of money that I was spending on that.
Right.
Yeah. So then I'm like, she was saying, oh, you got to. It's good if you spend $20 a day. I'm like, damn, $20 a day. That's a lot of money because if you multiply 20 times 7, that's 140. 140 times 4, it's a whole bunch of money. So then even if it's, let's say it's $10, you still not going to get filled up with that, because I was just hungry all the time and I lost so much weight. I lost so much weight on that.
Mm,
It is crazy. Right now I lost a good amount of weight as well. but that was only because of the accident that I had on the farm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with the lamb and stuff. But then, you know, I'm able to work out, but not as much as before because my hand is still. Let me show you.
Show your hand, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
can you
better
see it there?
now. Yeah, yeah, I see.
Yeah. So the laceration was from here all the way up to here, and I ended up getting surgery and going to therapy and stuff like that. But it's still way better. I still can't close it, but it's almost there.
Tell the
Almost there.
story quickly.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was I started oh yeah, yeah, I would love to share this story because I went from the let me see. Yeah. I had I went to get this lamb. Yeah, I went to get this lamb on July. On July. Give me 1 second. Let me just close the door right quick.
Yeah.
Um I went to get this lamb on July last year, 2017. And I wanted I another the guy who responded to my text to the forum on Raw Paleo Diet forum. I saw his video on YouTube. That was the first time that I saw that video, and the video was on him slaughtering the lamb, and I'm like, oh, saber tooth. I'm looking out. At the end of the video, when I saw all the videos that he put, like episode 1, episode 2, I'm like, oh wow, this was the guy who responded to the thread, and
Right.
I'm like, oh wow, okay, so he gave a good you know, nice way how to slaughter, skin, eviscerate the animal and stuff like that. And you know, he was also messed up like completely. He couldn't even eat anything. He would just have diarrhea or vomit anytime he eat anything. So he wasn't looking forward to eating.
Mm.
So that, yeah, he was really skinny because I mean, he couldn't eat anything. So then, he did his research, did the raw diet, and that was a very I totally uh recommend you or anybody to see that video if they're following this diet. So then I went to get uh this lamb in July 2017, and this guy it was a pretty good price. It was pretty good. It was like $2.50 a pound for the lamb.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. So if it was 100 pounds, it was what, $200? Actually, no. If it's as is 100 and over, it's $2.25. So it's $225. So then after that day, I started purchasing my whole lambs because you could get all of the organs. You could get the blood, you name it, the lungs, which the government doesn't allow. I have no idea why, or I don't know. No, of course I know why, but yeah, because they don't want you to get better. But I have no idea their explanation for it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why they say it's quote unquote bad. You can't drink blood. Um, but then I started getting the lamb. I held the lamb pretty bad to slice the throat. I had a pretty bad. You know, it was my first time, but whatever. I mean, I don't regret this because we are people. We learn by mistakes with our mistakes. So this taught me a good lesson. Now this would never happen again. So then I held the lamb's head wrong, really wrong. I don't even know how I cut myself on some real stuff because I can't say, oh, I cut myself because I lifted up. I have no idea because I started feeling it as soon as I couldn't grab his head to put it on the bucket to collect the blood.
Right.
So I'm like, God, I can't grab this. Oh, I can't grab. And then I looked at my hand, and then I'm like, oh my God, my fingers fell off. I thought my fingers fell off. Oof, my God. Just thinking about it, thinking about it hurts more than the actual cut. It was crazy. So then I slit the throat and I'm trying to get the head or whatever. At least I got a little bit of blood, you know? So then I did not know that my father knew how to skin, how to gut, how to do any of this. So then all of a sudden I went straight to the emergency room because I mean I couldn't do anything with my hand. I went straight to the emergency room. So then my father took over, skinned the lamb, eviscerated and everything. And I'm like, Pops, don't throw anything away. Let me get everything. Um, please don't throw it away because he's no, no, don't eat that, don't eat that, because he's also that's how he grew up. You know,
Hmm.
you can't you can't eat that raw. But you could eat this maybe. So then I said, no, don't throw anything away. Just put it in the car and then bring it to me over there to the emergency room. So then we brought everything. Um, and from that lamb, I just wasn't not able to. I throw away a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I mean, just the intestines and the stomach, because it was my first time. So I didn't eat the stomach because I said, damn, that has a lot of shit in there. Has a lot of poop. So how am I gonna eat this poop? But at the same time, it's all about throwing water, and that's it. Everything's gone. That's what I do now. I eat everything. The intestines, the stomach, and the stomach. Wow, has an amazing taste. And it smells. I wouldn't say it smells bad because I know the taste. So therefore, the stronger it smells, the better it smells for me because the stronger it smells, the better it tastes. You know,
Okay.
especially if it's fermented or whatever. So so yeah, that's the story on getting the lamb. And that's how I got this horrible laceration. Hand laceration. So that I ended up getting surgery with this laceration. Also in the emergency room, in the emergency room, they said, "Oh, you have to get a tetanus shot because this happened on a farm." And then I asked the nurse, "What is a tetanus shot?" I didn't even know what that was. Oh, you get lockjaw. That's how they scare you just to put that in you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What is a tetanus shot?" And I'm like, "Oh, you get lockjaw." And I'm like, and I looked at her and I put my mouth like lockjaw. Yeah, yeah, like you can't open it. And I'm like, all right. So then I just agreed. I said, all right, just put it on. Because my mother was like afraid or whatever that I was gonna get lockjaw. So I'm like, okay, okay, whatever. So then, but I would never get that again. I mean, I didn't have any side effects or anything with the shot, but I know it's horrible because come on. So yeah, so that was the story with the lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never really cared about killing animals or that it's wrong or something, or did
Oh
you?
no, no, let me tell you. No, let me tell you about that. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna forget. Okay, killing animals. So I I went to the farm. First, the guy killed the animal, a saber tooth, in the video, and I'm like, and he just grabbed the animal. Okay, he put himself, he sat on top of the animal, and just slit the throat and cut the jugular vein and started collecting the blood right there on the pot. And then I'm like, the animal was still like and breathing. All you could have heard from the animal wasn't screaming. It was just the air coming out of the coming out of the lungs
Yeah.
once that hole was there, and he was just collecting the blood. And then I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this, because it's so graphic.
Hmm.
We're not. I have never seen that or done that in my life, or been close to it. And then I'm like, damn, am I sure I could do this? Am I sure I could do this? So I ended up doing it. I mean, I ended up just saying, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I have programmed myself that I can do this. But then when I got to the farm and I saw the lamb, we had to pick it up between me and the farmer to bring it to the back so that the other lambs won't see what's going on. So then I'm like, oh my god. damn, am I sure I want to do this? And then he was on the floor, and the lamb was breathing very heavy, like scared. Of course, we're gonna be scared if they're gonna kill you. You know. So he was, and I'm calming him down like if it was my dog, and I'm like, oh boy, and rubbing his stomach. I'm like, good boy, yeah. And then I started taking my knife and lifting his neck, and I didn't know what position I was gonna get into, like to slice the throat. And I'm like picking the head up. I'm like, okay, there we go. And I'm like, oh, okay, no, no. And he was so submissive. It was like I have no words to describe it. He just when I started petting him and stuff, whoosh, he calmed down so fast. And so I ended up as slitting the throat. And then when I was on the emergency truck, the ambulance, I started. I felt worse for the lamb than I felt worse for my hand. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my god, I hate this lamb. I started crying in the ambulance, in the truck. And I'm like, oh my God, I killed this lamb. And I was crying. And then the paramedics were like, oh no, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's going to go, it's going to go away. So then I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I killed this lamb. And then I was just thinking how the lamb submitted to me. And then I'm like, oh my God, he submitted so that I can kill him? No way. So that the paramedic said that was gonna go away. Like, what, a couple of days? That's still with me for like probably like a month and a half to 2 months. And then I said from that day I said I would never kill another animal. Of course, after following this regimen, after doing this regimen, of course I wasn't gonna stop eating my raw meat and my raw fat because I was gonna go back to step zero with the multiple sclerosis. So I'm like, okay, forget it. Let me just go to the butcher and just get my meat from there. But then those 2 months, I was just thinking how good the blood was. Um, yeah, it's crazy how good the blood, the lungs, the things that you can't get, how good they were. And I was thinking of taking it. I was thinking of taking purchasing the lamb and taking it to a slaughterhouse. But then again, they don't charge much, but it was a hassle to take it to the slaughterhouse,
Mm.
pick it up the slaughterhouse. So it's like it's not worth it. So then I had like 2 months just purchasing meat per pound. Purchasing meat per pound. Um, and then I okay, yeah, and then when was it that? Oh, I was thinking. I even have the steps on how to do it. I was thinking of creating a guillotine. I was thinking of creating a guillotine because I wasn't comfortable with me grabbing an animal's head and slicing the throat. It was too personal, too personal with the animal because you're so close to it. But if you have a guillotine, you just put some blueberries on the other side of the lunette, I think they call it. Once that lamb puts his head in that lunette, you close that lunette, put a lock on it. He's not gonna move, and you just drop that blade. The head is gonna come right off. Um, I was thinking of doing that, and I still have the steps on how to do it. But then,
Mm.
that's a lot of planning and stuff. So I'm like, no, forget it. So then, when was it that I went to get another lamb? I think it was on September because I said July, August, September. Yeah, like on September, I went to get the second lamb. because like I said, I had 2 months with saying that I was not going to kill another animal. So then a friend of mine, a butcher, he went with me to slaughter this animal, and he skinned it. He was pretty good. He was nice with it. And I learned a lot from him too. He's
Hmm.
helping so much. And then he did a good job. So I went to collect the blood. I was helping him. Oh, it's that video that I made. That was the second lamb that I got.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, from that same place. So then I started collecting the blood, and I did not feel bad at all. Not I didn't feel at all. I didn't feel horrible. So then I said, okay, I can do this. Then I can do this. Next time, I'm gonna kill the animal myself. Um, because that's how you could get rid of that that mentality.
Hmm. But
So
back
it's
when
it's
you
pretty
were,
hard.
yeah,
Huh?
go on.
Yeah. So then yeah. So that's what happened. I felt really really bad for the animal. I said that I wasn't gonna kill it. That I was gonna have other people kill it, like slaughterhouses. And I said that I was never gonna put my hands on another animal to slice the throat because oh my god, I was crying. Oh my goodness, crazy. But this is because we are not used to the our ancestors' way of life. You know what I'm saying? So then I saw another video that you put online you put on YouTube. This was the Amazon tribe.
Hmm.
These guys were running after the wild boar. Once they shot it with the arrow, they had sticks in their hands. They started pounding on this animal till death.
Right.
Like boom. And I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. Why is it horrible? They want to eat. You know, they're gonna die if they don't kill it. So this is what civilization has done to us. Farming and everything like that. That has messed up our way of life.
For sure.
It's crazy. It's like modernity is amazing. It's like whoosh, ridiculous.
Yeah, I was
Rid-
just gonna ask, back when you were vegan, did you tell people that killing animals is wrong or stuff like that?
oh yeah. Well, I used to tell them that only because I thought it was a healthy alternative. You
Right.
know. So a lot of vegans say if you didn't have to kill an animal, if you didn't have to hurt somebody, would you still do it anyways? And then the people respond. The people are pressured with that question.
Hmm.
I see what's his nickname? Joey Carpstrong, I think.
Yeah.
Joey Carpstrong. That's crazy. And he looks at people like, okay, so you would kill it. Oh yeah. And then he looks at them like really, like I'm about to punch you in the face. And they probably say it, they're gonna kill them because of their religion or whatever. But then he gets angry. But then again, he's also killing other living beings. Because the reason I started the raw vegan diet was because I wanted to get a how did he call it? Because I was following this other guy on YouTube. Um, this raw guy, do you know him? He's bald.
Oh, the Gary whatever? No, he's not raw anyway.
Oh,
What?
James destroys diseases.
I've never heard.
Yeah. I was following him like faithfully. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I even shot him an email. He responded.
Uh-huh.
And, I thought that was gonna help because what he was saying on the videos were like, he bought me. He bought me completely. So, um, what he was saying, you have to eat a live diet.
Right.
As he was saying with the raw vegan. So I'm like, that's when I knew that you had to eat raw foods. Yeah, that's why he said raw foods. Like raw kale, raw spinach, raw plant foods.
Yeah.
And then he put animal products in the bottom of the pyramid saying danger. Oh my god. And I'm like, danger. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta stay away from this. Oh my god, this is crazy. So then he said, I'm gonna send you the I'm gonna send you the pyramid
Yeah.
because I have it because I have two folders on my Dropbox and on my on my Dropbox I have a whole list of different types of foods that I used to make when I was a vegan, and I put like the title of the Word documents like various recipes, and then the various recipes contain a whole bunch of vegan meals, like pasta and stuff like that. High
Mm.
high high starch foods. Um. So and then my other folder, or my other Word document is various recipe raw paleo diet.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a total change. But I saved it just so I could have my what I used to follow before. Um. So he was saying danger or whatever animal foods. So that's when I knew that raw foods is what we have to eat, after following James Destroys the Seasons. When you get a chance to just check him out one video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a raw vegan. But then he also takes a lot of supplements and stuff. So then
Mm.
I'm like, dang, he takes a lot of pills and stuff. So then every time I used to see these raw vegan videos, I'm like, damn, but how do these people get satisfied? Because it's oh, eating so many fruits and grains. Well, raw vegan don't eat grains, but
Nuts.
but I used to when I was used to look at these videos from Christina Raw Vegan, Fully Raw. I'm like, damn, she really goes throughout the day with this. And I think she's lying because I don't think she's a raw vegan because she's pretty thick. She has a good weight on her. And then she I was losing a lot of weight, and I'm like, how does she do it? How does she maintain her weight? I think she's completely lying. That's what I
Yeah.
think
We call her
because it's
fat.
impossible.
We call
Yeah,
her
go
fatty
ahead.
liver Christina, but yeah, she's fake for sure.
She's fake because she looks good. She has a good body tone. And I'm like, I'm losing weight, and I'm like, no way, I cannot be losing all this weight if this girl's like this. So I'm like, no, she's lying. She's
Yeah,
lying. Once I got into this regimen, I said, nope, she's completely, she's completely lying.
yeah. All of
Completely lying.
the real raw vegans, all of them are really thin. The
All
re
of the raw vegans,
the
right?
real ones, yeah.
Yeah, the ones who actually really follow it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, because it's impossible for the body to gain weight without eating fat.
yeah.
That's just that's just like that. But what was I saying? Yeah. So I was following that guy, and how was it? What was the question again?
It was about animals, if you cared about them,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
it was. Yeah, no, it wasn't about animals. I only said not to hurt animals only because of the because if you don't have to hurt them, why would you hurt them? That's
Yeah,
that was my thought. If you don't have to hurt them and you could get it from a plant-based diet, why not follow a plant-based diet? But now I only started to know this or started to feel differently when I started reading upon the paleo diet. When I started reading the Dr. Wall's protocol, that's when I started noticing the difference of a vegan diet and a raw paleo diet because our ancestors didn't have um, access to plant foods all year round. So what were we gonna do if we were following a vegan diet? We couldn't follow a vegan diet because even if we were if we had even if it was summer all year, we still didn't have access to plant-based foods that we could digest. I mean, it's not even possible for us to digest
Yeah.
plant-based foods because of our lack of bacteria in the gut. And like for example, B12 vitamin found in meat. It's
Yeah.
not found. It's not found in plant-based foods,
Yeah.
and
Vegans
therefore,
don't get that it's
yeah,
produced by bacteria in the intestines of the plant eaters. So it's-
it's crazy. They're not gonna get B12. You know what? I was laughing the other day. It just came up to my head. Milk Jar and I were in that protest downtown with the vegans,
right.
and then and then there was a vegan. There was a vegan who was a pretty cool vegan. He wasn't rowdy or anything. He wasn't
Mm.
rude. He was just talking to us, you know. And I was conversating with him. We were conversating with him. So then, so then he was talking with this guy, and he's like, Milk Jar just asked him this question. Okay, all right. So let me just ask you this question: where do you get your B12 vitamins from? And then he said, "Oh, I take a supplement." Oh, okay. Yeah, I take an injection sometimes and that. Oh, there you go. That makes you that makes you an intravenous drug user.
Yeah, man. I know. I saw that the video is online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Intravenous. Yeah, true. Intravenous drug user because that's all synthetic. You know what I'm saying? It's all made up by a person, by the medical profession
Mm.
to get you hooked on that.
Big pharma.
Oh,
Yeah.
big pharma. That's crazy. And let me tell you something. It's crazy how people have to feel, how we have to feel messed up in the health or thinking that we were. Let me see. For example, I started the vegan and raw vegan and all that vegan thing because I felt really bad. I didn't start it. Let me. What do I want to say? Okay. For example, I asked. My brother, my family, basically, they have seen the difference between how I was before and how I am now, and they saw how messed up I was. I asked my brother, "Oh, hey, I try to get him on the raw diet, on this raw diet, because I know it's a very beneficial regimen." So I said, he didn't like it that much. What I did was I seasoned the meat for him
Hmm.
raw, just like that. Garlic, a little bit of salt, some oregano, and some lime. So he tasted it. He said the taste wasn't so bad, but it was just a little gooey
Hmm.
for him to swallow right away. So then he still eats the cooked meat, well done or whatever. So then I asked him, "Oh, hey, I got a question for you. If you feel messed up one day, like health wise, would you try this regimen just like I did?" And then he said, "Oh yeah, probably. Oh, definitely." So I'm like, "Damn, you waiting for you to get messed up in order to try it?" You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
it's
even
like that with everybody. Mm.
yeah, like that for everybody. And even, no, not even. Because look at this. Even if you're messed up, let's say you have Parkinson's. Okay, my aunt, she has Parkinson's. She saw the difference of how I was before, and she is messed up. She's like walking really, she's shaking all the time. She is really messed up. So if I start talking to her about this raw paleo diet, she's definitely not gonna do it. Um, I told my mother, oh, should I tell her? So, just so I could, guide her a little bit just on it so she could try it to see if she feels better. I know for a fact that she will feel better. But then she said, no, no, don't even try. She's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. So even if a person is messed up, if your mind is like so powerful, even if you know what's going to work, you're not going to do it because whatever you're used to, your mind is used to. So it's so hard to get out of the norm. You know,
True.
it is crazy. It's like we're stuck. We're it's like we're arrested. Man.
Another question: did you have any
Yep.
colleagues or friends who were vegan? Were you part of a community, or were you all alone in this the whole time you were vegan?
Oh wow. Yeah. Let me tell you. I was like a I'll say a strict vegan or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, not strict vegan, but I mean I'm strict in everything I do. For example, I said that I wasn't gonna take any medicine. I'm not gonna take any medicine. Things
Mm,
like that. Like when I say something, I'm gonna follow it.
mm.
But I try to. Let me see. Did I go to a vegan meetup? Um, no, I never went to a vegan meetup, but I went to Woofing. You ever heard of Woofing? Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I signed up for that, and I went to Costa Rica.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to Costa Rica, and the only reason I went to Costa Rica was because I wanted to go over there because I wanted to buy a vegan farm or make a vegan farm. Yeah, yeah. So, but that's not a good idea because a lot of the money is spent traveling and getting papers over there, like legal documents. So I went to this woman's farm. She's a vegan. She's like a fanatic. Oh my gosh, she is like like these vegans that you see, like Joey Carbstrong and stuff like that. She, you gotta see how crazy this woman is. She takes care of animals like crazy. She loves them a lot. She has a couple of dogs at her farm. She loves them. She gives the dogs a vegan diet, and I'm like,
Oh,
wow, she is killing these dogs. She gives them rice mixed with beets, mixed with a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. And then when I came from Costa Rica, I started doing that with my dog. I started doing that with my dog because I'm like, oh, wow, look at them. They're eating, they're liking, they're loving it. So then I saw the harm that I was doing to my dog, to me, let alone also my dog as well.
man, you were a
Um,
really crazy proper vegan.
yeah, yeah. So then this woman, if you're not vegan, if you're not vegan, I mean, you could still not be vegan and volunteer in her farm, but she will not allow you to eat meat in her farm.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there were two people. Yeah, there were two people that weren't vegan. I don't
Mhm.
know why they chose that. I don't know why they chose that farm to volunteer in. But they weren't vegan, and she did not allow them to eat meat on the farm. So we went to a what's it called? A neighboring farm. There were elderly people.
Mm.
They had cows. They collected their own milk and stuff. And then once the non-vegan people that were volunteering went to the house, they had a blast because there was there was meat there was cheese, there was, oh my god, they were loving that, because the woman was cooking for them.
Oh, right.
Um, yeah, so they were loving it, so they had to go over there to go eat meat. That's ridiculous. So then what I did the other day, I kind of wanted to visit Costa Rica just to visit some people that I met over there. And then I shot her an email saying, "Oh, hey, how are you? Hope everything is good on the farm." And I said, I'm planning to go to Costa Rica, and I don't wanna stay in a hotel. Is it possible I could stay at your farm and just pay you? And then she said, "Oh yeah, of course, of course." And then I said, "But one thing is, I'm not vegan anymore. Um, I'm not vegan anymore. Is it possible I can stay there? I'm gonna." Oh, okay. Oh wow. I'm so. But look at this. I explained to her why I wasn't vegan anymore.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, hey, I'm not vegan anymore because I started this regimen and this cured my multiple sclerosis." And then she said, "Oh my God, I am so sorry you have multiple sclerosis, but I'm so glad that you feel better. I'm so sorry that you're not vegan anymore." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what the hell did I just tell this woman? I just told her that I got better with this diet, and you're gonna tell me you're sorry because I'm not vegan anymore? That's ridiculous." So then she is such a fanatic that we were volunteering, and we had a machete cutting grass, cutting it low like that.
Mm.
And she said, there's snakes that can pop up and bite you or whatever. And there was another there was another farmer that was helping her out. He used to come and she probably used to pay him. And he told us, oh, he told us, hey, if you see a snake, um, don't kill it, because she said not to kill it. And she said, okay, if you see a snake, she said, if you see a snake, just put a go back very slowly. Do not hit it with the machete. And then I'm like, the snake is gonna bite your ass. How are you not gonna hit it with the machete? So then he told us, oh yeah, you guys can't kill the snake. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. So where do you go not to kill the snake? Oh no. You guys can't kill the snake. I can kill the snake. He kills the snake because the snake is gonna bite him. Come on, how you gonna say something? But she's extreme. She was extreme. She had there was a truck full of pigs that were gonna go to a slaughterhouse. She went rushing to that truck to take out at least two pigs.
Mm.
Rushing like running. She was telling us. And that's how she adopted those two pigs. And then she said, "Oh no, they're not gonna slaughter. I'm not gonna take them here to the farm." And the pigs are still there in the farm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this girl is crazy. But it's crazy because look at that. She doesn't even care about health, and she is super skinny. She's like very skinny. She's like, oh my god, she's like 60. Is she 60? No, she's younger, but she's like fucked up, man. She looks so thin.
Yeah.
She's American though. She just bought a farm over there.
Yeah.
But then again, look at this. Also vegan. I was a vegan. I wanted to go to a warm climate. Why? To grow food all year round. Synthetic food because who, what fruits in the wild are you gonna find all year round? You're not gonna find fruits all year round. You know what I'm saying?
Did you also
So,
go because you felt cold, or was not that at
um,
all?
well, yeah, because I felt a little bit cold. Right now, I'm not feeling cold because of all the fat that I eat. You know,
Yeah.
so I think that's what's making the difference. Because before I used to say, yeah, it was because I felt cold. Because of course, I grew up in the Dominican. I mean, I didn't grow up in the Dominican Republic, but I was born over there. So I'm kind of quote unquote basically used to that. For example, the hot climate.
Uh,
So but yeah, I think it was because I felt cold. Because here it snowed so much, the temperature went down, a good amount compared to the tropical climate.
yeah.
So that's why I wanted to go. Yeah, because it was not convenient weather for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's crazy how I'm riding the bike right now. I started doing like a little gig, a messenger little side job, and I don't get cold on the bicycle, which is the only thing that gets cold is my fingertips. My fingertips. And but right now it's not getting so cold because I bought some good gloves. But as a matter of fact, I think I get hot because of riding the bike so much in the cold.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. So I don't get as cold as before. I mean, it's rarely that I get cold. If I do get cold, it's because I'm standing outside doing anything. You're definitely gonna get cold like that. But yeah, I think it was because of that, because it was cold over here. It was not convenient weather for me, and wanted to go to Costa Rica.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any health problems? Maybe something mental?
Um. Well, I'm gonna no health problems,
Okay.
no mental problems. Well, I'm gonna tell you about the mental. Mental, I'm good mentally. I don't feel like I am delusional or whatever.
Yeah.
But but I think that I've been thinking a lot about this, about about um about the government and how they have total control over us. You cannot do anything. You cannot move a finger without these people knowing. I was thinking, okay, the government controls you. You can't I mean, you can't even drink blood because they don't allow you to. You can't even eat what you want to eat. You can't live where you want to live. If you want to live in the wild and you had a kid with you, I think it is SCS or something like that. The government is going to come after you saying, "Oh, we're going to take that kid away because these are not proper living conditions for
Mm.
him." Mind you, this is how we used to live,
Yeah.
and this is how our ancestors used to live. How is this not great living conditions? But it's all about profit and it's all about modernity. So this has gotten me very, I'll say, disgusted of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we only live. It's like my mentality is we only live to please other people. You know, to please other people other than your close family. It's crazy. We wear good clothes so that other people could look at us and not say, "Oh, this guy is crazy." That's why it just gets me so angry just thinking about civilization and what that has done to our mentality.
Mm.
You know,
You could.
even if you try a raw meat diet like we're doing, you're crazy. You're crazy because you can't do that. That's not allowed in society.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how that made you feel. You're just crazy because you can't do that. And that gets me so angry. You know,
Yeah,
that gets
you
me
could
so angry.
also tell about your plans that you want to leave the system. Maybe somebody wants to help you out.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like going, if it's possible to move to a wild area and just live off of the land, hunting any animal that you find. But that will be hard because I don't know how to hunt. I have never hunted in my life. You know,
Mm.
I I know how to kill a little bit because I just started slaughtering the lambs, and that is like controlled killing. Because you have the lamb already in your hands. But you imagine I cannot find any food for like weeks. That I can't catch anything.
Mm.
Create, creating a trap, but it's also good. I always look at life and try to compare it to our hunter and gatherer ancestors who used to take care of them, not the government, the family. The family
Mm.
used to take care. They used to have kids teach their kids so that the kids when they grow up they can help them hunt and collect for the village. Um, how do you call it? Young people are needed. Young people are needed in a family. Because that's who's gonna help. Not Medicare or or government spending or whatever. So it's all about a family, unity. You know, I doubt like nowadays families separate fairly quickly. Because they don't have that unity. Why? Because they're always thinking about money, always thinking about things other than health. You know, we think about gasoline and washing our clothes more than what we think about getting a piece of steak. You know,
Mm.
that is crazy. That is ridiculous. That is crazy. So yeah, I mean, going to a wild area it would be an ideal situation for me. But at the same time, I mean, I have nobody who wants to or who could do that because I don't know anybody who could hunt. I don't know anybody who can help me hunt. But at the same time, like I said, community, which is quote unquote family, community is what you need in order to live. You know, you need help. We need help. We all need help. You can't do this alone because one day your body's gonna give out.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, maybe a hunter is watching this video who lives in the woods.
Yeah, let's. Oh yeah, if you guys are watching this video, I'll definitely see what you recommend because this is it would be very very interesting to go to the wild and just live off the land. Um, you know, cold weather is gonna come no matter what. It's all about building a teepee shelter and stuff like that. And those are items that you can build straight off the land. You don't even need materials to do that. So another thing, if I do go to the wild, I don't want to hunt with a gun. I don't want to do that because that makes you dependent on a gun. Then you got to get ammo. Where are you going to get ammo in the wild? You know.
Right.
So it's all about being, strategic and creating traps, uh, killing the animal no matter however you kill it. That's however you kill it, it's humane. They say, oh, humane animal slaughter so that the animal won't suffer. Everybody's going to suffer. It's death. That's the circle of life. In order for you to die, you have to suffer. You know, blood has to be blood has to be dropped. In order for the circle of life to keep on happening. That's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, but being say, oh, you can't, don't kill, you can't kill animals, you shouldn't kill animals, but then they're killing plants, and it's the same thing. They say, oh, but how do you know that plants feel? They're living things. Every living thing feel feels anything,
Of course.
you know, because they're just looking at how little it is, or because they can't talk. When the sun hits some leaves or whatever, a plant growing, the plant shifts to get the sun, to get the vitamin D or whatever it is, but to get the nutrients from nature. So basically, it's moving to survive, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with humans. It's the same thing with animals. So it's just death is a circle of life. And I totally I agree with that one.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Anything else you want to add?
Let's see. I think it was the. Oh well, one thing I want to add
Yeah.
is okay. Yeah, yeah. I want to add this. This is a good one. Um, a lot of people say the first thing that they asked me when I did the raw meat diet was, "Oh my God, you should be constipated." So then I'm like, I at first I thought I was going to be. So that the book that I read didn't state that, but just what everybody tells you.
Yeah.
At first, my feces were a little bit soft. It wasn't diarrhea, but they were a little bit soft. Um, but it's all the body getting used to it, because it's just so long. Somebody not having fat in their body, especially raw fat. So it's all about the body getting used to it. It was a little soft, but then it started clearing up, and it had a very stinky smell. It was so stinky that I had to ask questions. I had to be like, I even asked the guy who wrote the book because he put his email info there. I asked him, "Oh, hey, my feces are smelling pretty bad. I don't know if you have any suggestion or what do you think about that?" And then he said, "Oh, I mean, mine didn't smell bad, but," and I said it had a horrible smell. But it's the body getting used to it. He said, "Oh no, I mean I haven't heard of anything like that, but just keep on trying, just keep on trying the diet." And I said, "Okay, okay, cool." So then eventually, that's it. The smell didn't come as bad. I mean, it's shit. It's gonna stink. It's shit. It's not. You're not. You're not shitting flowers.
Yeah.
So so it's gonna stink no matter what, but not as bad as before. So the digestion uh, gets better by time with this raw diet, I believe, because now I eat once a day only because it fills me up for so long. Sometimes, rarely, I eat twice a day because I just see the meat there in the fridge and I just want to put it in my mouth. And look, and I'm full, and I just want to put it in my mouth. But only because I see that it's there. But I only eat once a day. Okay, this happened 5 days ago. I ate once and I shit it 3 times. How are you gonna eat once and shit 3 times? That because it's good digestion, and you're definitely absorbing all the nutrients from that food. So it's crazy how the um the probiotics in the meat, the live enzymes, because you're not adding heat to it, you're not killing the enzymes. The Especially when it's high meat, when it's like fermented meat, maybe like a month or two, that's definitely amazing probiotics. And yeah, I think this would be good for people who are constipated, who have hemorrhoids.
For sure.
That would def Yeah, that would definitely clear up all of that.
When I was vegan, I smelled like never before in my life, and the times later when I was zero carb and raw meat, my shit pretty much didn't even smell sometimes. It was weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's the same thing with me. Sometimes, you might people seeing this video might call me nasty, whatever. But I'm so I'm so proud of my shit when I see it. I'm serious. When I see it on the toilet and I get up and I get up from that toilet. You remember that movie? Have you ever seen Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see when I think it's Willie. When Willie comes out of the bathroom, he says,
Yeah.
"Ah, I feel 5 pounds lighter." That's the same thing I say every time I take a shit. You know, and every time I take a shit, I'm like, I get up and I'm like, wow, look at that shit. And then the and then the toilet just fills up. And then I'm like, wow, this is amazing because you feel so good right after. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like they gave you a massage and in your stomach, they took your colon out and started 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 massaging it. But it's so good. It feels so good. It's amazing. It's crazy. But the digestion is like 100%, 100% good.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, anybody watching this video, if you guys are interested in that being in a remote area, because I've been looking around, but at the same time it's hard to do it without company. A lot of people have done it. It's all mental and stuff, but everybody's different. So I I totally believe that you have to have a community in order to get this done, you know.
Mm.
But it will be so hard to get it done by yourself, you know. I mean, I think it's doable, but I don't know. That's my mentality. You know, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So what about you with the raw vegan? What I mean, you didn't raw. Oh, you did raw vegan, right?
Sort of, partly, yeah.
Okay. How did that mess you up?
Yeah, bloating and very smelly. It was horrible. Or do you mean
uh,
how it messed me up in general?
well, not in gen. Well, yeah, I'll say general, like weight loss and your vision or whatever, you know, in general.
Yeah, lots of weight loss. Couldn't work out anymore. No motivation, no energy. I just gave up.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy, crazy. But the medical profession say, I was looking into this article I found online about K1 and K2, vitamin K1 and K2. There are, they say that K1 mostly comes from animals. No, I mean from plant based like kale, spinach, or whatever, leafy green vegetables, and then K2 just comes from animal products. So therefore, plant foods don't contain K2 because it lacks fat. It lacks saturated fat, and then K2 works with a conjunction of other vitamins like vitamin D and stuff like
Mm.
that. But then that's true. It's true that K1 is in leafy green vegetables, but that doesn't mean that we are going to absorb all the K1 in leafy green vegetables because we are lacking bacteria to be able to digest it. Now, cows, they eat the grass, which contains K1 because it's in basically plants, and then their bacteria converts it into K2. So therefore, they contain both K1 and K2. Um, I believe what I was reading was a lesser amount of K1 or something,
Mm.
but definitely a potent amount of K2. Um, but we are not going to digest the K1 in kale, for example, because we don't have that bacteria in our gut like cows do, you know? So if we eat cows or whatever, organ meats and everything of the cow, um, we're definitely gonna get K1, K1 and two. You know, so they always say, "Oh, eat a lot of leafy green vegetables like kale and this and that." But then they also contain anti-nutrients like oxalates that give you kidney stones, for example. You know, but they never say that. They never say this.
The little
But
bit
it's
of K2, if you're really healthy, is produced in the large intestine, but it's so small in humans and it's before you shit everything out. So even if you produce some, you will still shit it out because the whole point is to feed the soil with the shit and the flies can feed on it, but it's not for us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy how life works. Like you take your waste. It's not waste for other things.
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's crazy. Yeah, it's waste for you, but not for the animal, for the soil and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, nothing is natural nowadays. You know, it's all even if you read organic, for example, organic bananas. Come on, what's an organic banana?
Yeah.
Are you gonna produce millions of bananas in a month? I don't even know if they do it in a week. In a week or so, and ship it out to everywhere in the world so that the people in United Kingdom, where it gets really cold, are gonna eat bananas. Come on, you know. Another thing I was looking into was which is very I'll say which is very common in the vegan and raw vegan and everything other and everything other than high carbohydrates, which is tooth decay. You know,
Yeah.
tooth decay, sugar is what kills you. Is what kills the tooth, the teeth, the teeth health. And I was reading on these two different bacterias that are formed in the mouth. That these bacteria feed on sugar. They feed on sugar because they store polysaccharides, which is carbohydrates, um, they containing like a, a number of sugar molecules bonded together. So when that's in the mouth, the bacteria just feeds on sugar. That bacteria creates acid in the mouth. Therefore, um, and the acid is what in the and the acid created by the this bacteria is what sucks up the minerals in your teeth, therefore creating tooth decay
Huh.
because of the sugar.
That's
You
interesting.
know, you yeah, yeah. I found this article and I'm like, oh, it's pretty interesting, And it's sugar, it's sugar that really kills your teeth, and everybody's losing their teeth. And when I was in Costa Rica, every guy who I saw who was working in um, a sugar cane field had no teeth. Their teeth were all falling down, and I'm like, wow, what the hell is wrong with this? Because it's all the sugar canes that they eat.
Yeah.
And sugar is addicting. It's like you keep eating it every time you just take a bite or something. It's crazy, crazy. But yeah, it's all about the sugar. They now the medical profession, which are the dentists and stuff. Oh, you got to brush your teeth every single day. You have to floss. You have to, floss. Come on, hunters and gatherers they didn't do these things, and they have perfect teeth.
Yeah.
So it's all about the sugar that just kills you. Sugar molecules. But it is crazy. It is crazy. But you weren't diagnosed with anything, right?
When I was vegan,
Yeah.
only afterwards, when I was in the intensive care because I had the water around my heart. I told you about
Oh
that,
wow.
right?
No, no, I never knew about
Yeah,
that.
I made a video about that. Yeah, my heart wasn't beating really anymore, hardly, very little. So that was when I almost died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what did they say? What did they say was the
They didn't
cause?
say anything, but I'm pretty sure it happens from starvation. Because when you don't
All
have
right.
fat, then you build the water around, and I probably just ate up my whole body, the fat reserves.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that's what I imagine from what I read.
How long were you doing the vegan for?
5 months.
Oh, damn, only 5 months.
Yeah, but then I also went on a fast, and that messed me up worse because I was allergic to all food, and ever
Uh,
since I've been allergic to avocados and everything. I was never allergic to that. Only since I went vegan.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah, yeah, yo, I totally recommend this diet to everybody, to anybody, to anybody. They can tell me, oh no, but no, anybody could do this, and you're gonna feel good right away. I totally uh, I would disagree if somebody would tell me, no, but I'm gonna feel this and that. And if they did, and if they had, you know what people say? They say, um, I want to buy razorfish clams, razorfish clams.
Mm.
Oh my god, that shit is so amazing.
I ate them in the
And
cannery.
then, oh, you ate them?
Yeah, because I saw
They're
them.
good, right?
Because I saw them with you and Milk Jar. Because Milk, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was the one who gave it to me.
yeah,
You, they're good, right?
yeah. But mine were
Oh,
a lot smaller than yours, so I don't know if they're different, but they were
yeah.
still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah.
You ate it. You
Yeah.
ate it
Yeah.
alive. Nice, nice. Yeah, I gotta go to a restaurant where they serve live octopus.
All right.
Yeah, live octopus. I want to go check that out. I'm like, I was surprised because how they gonna sell not raw octopus for it is raw, of course, but how they gonna sell it alive? Is that legal? But they do that. It's like a what is it? Is it a Philippine? I don't know. It's some type of Asian
Could be Korean.
tradition. Korean, I believe it is. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. It's a Korean, and then they serve it live, and then you just eat it. And I'm like, wow, I gotta go do this. It's like I gotta go and check that out.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I was purchasing the razor clams, and I told the guy in the fish market, oh hey, let me get a pound of that. And then he said, okay, you know what? Let me get a pound and a half because I just want to eat it now, just to Then he said, you gonna eat it now? No, I mean, you cook it. It's not. Oh no, I eat it raw. And then he said, you eat it raw? And then I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, ah. And then I'm like, come on, how you gonna say that if you haven't tried it?
Yeah.
You know? People say, oh, that's nasty. How is that nasty if you haven't even tasted it? So it's just the idea that is nasty,
Yeah.
not really the razor
It's the
clams.
idea. Yeah.
So, yeah, so they say, oh my god, that is horrible. That tastes nasty. They haven't even tasted it to be saying that it is nasty or good. So yeah, yeah. Oh wow, you have razor clams. Yeah, those are good, man. Those are good. Damn. All right. No, you didn't have anything to say with the vegan thing? Anything else? No?
I'll post a video of my own before this actually, then you will see.
Okay. Okay. Just a video of your own.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That
Okay.
will be
All
posted
right.
long before this, so
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. 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 If anybody has a question for me or whatever, just shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to respond.
yeah, I'll link
But
your
I
YouTube
think
channel.
oh yeah, you link it there. Okay. 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 Um. All right. All right. Yeah, yeah, but whoever is a hunter out there and is willing to look into this, remoteness living or however you could call it, living remote. Yeah, shoot me a message too, and I'll be happy to have a convo with you. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for telling your story.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good one, brother.
Okay. Bye.